Hello and welcome to the Australian Gamer Show. I'm Matt.
And I'm Yug.
Tonight we're going to be talking about the PSP Go Stop,
Transmission Games closes,
Xbox 360 accessories,
PlayStation 3 deals,
podcast questions,
and Assassin's Creed 2 short films. Not there's 2 short films for a...
Yeah.
I actually think... there's not 2 short films. It's Assassin's Creed 2. 3 short films.
Yeah, 3 short films
3
from Assassin's Creed 2.
I'm confusing myself already. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Like 7 Mary 3.
Hey, I want to start this off by giving a big sloppy thank you shout out to all the people who are paying for me to fly to eGames.
I highly approve of this notion of abusing our readership for money and extorting them. I think that's great.
I think it's great. So how many people paid for you to go to eGames, mate?
None.
None,
because I have money.
Shut up. But look, I did just want to say thank you very much. I really wasn't planning on going to eGames. I couldn't. And the fact that the AG community raised so much money, almost $500, in less than an hour of AJ actually putting out the request is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And just incredible. I'm very humble about it, and I think you're all a bit stupid, but that's okay. I love you all, and I will give you great big hugs and do a magic trick to every single person except AJ that doesn't want one.
No, that's fair.
But just very quickly, I'm just going to go through the list of people that did actually put money in, with the exception of Retro Man that only put $1 in. I don't know. Does that count?
No, it counts.
It counts.
Didn't it take our account from negative? Oh no, from
negative $2
negative.
to negative $1.
So he halved the negative balance. That's impressive.
But just going off the list, and this is just the transfer list of people that it's from: Retro Man, Perry Reese, 2D Kicks, Justin Kick Balls in a Stick. Vuk, someone put down Australian Gamer, good job. AJ, Bring Young. These aren't your names.
No.
You're not helping here. Joby, of course, Scarecrow and 8, Mrs. Colleen Van Sendyug South. Oh, Cos. Okay.
Yep.
Victorian Teachers Credit Union. No, that's Liam, Sniper, Luke, and Ruri. That's
nice.
That's all the names I've got. So thank you very much. You can extract whatever sexual favors you want out of me when I get to Melbourne.
If you're actually going to be at eGames, I mean, there may be some people who paid simply to help you get down there who will not be there.
This is true.
They, I think, deserve a little special something.
A little special something? Yeah.
Yeah, so you might need to send them a napkin.
Now, just to keep in mind that there wasn't actually that much left over after we booked the flights. I think there was, I don't know, was there any money left over?
Yeah, there was about like $13 or something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that
Flights
$13
were quite expensive.
is going straight onto the bar tab on the Melbourne Gamers meetup on the Saturday nights.
Woo! We'll drink hard.
Which will be at Galactic Circus and Kingpin.
Indeed.
As per usual.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I just, that's it.
Not usual, really. It's like we've done it 3 times.
This will be the 3rd time.
This will be the 3rd time.
Usual.
No, that's like, I mean, that's beginning to become a pattern, but it's not
3
exactly
years in
like
a row.
all
That's
the time.
Usual.
Alright, whatever.
Deal with it. Alright, so let's talk about some actual gaming
Let's talk about
news.
the PlayStation Assassin's Creed 2 short
PlayStation
films.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, I lost track.
Alright, Assassin's Creed 2, they're doing a whole bunch of short films, or 3 of them, that are going up on YouTube on the 27th of October. And the cool thing is, all 3 of them, it's called Lineage, and they go for like about 40 minutes or so, all up. And it uses all the voice characters and actors that are actually doing this stuff for the Assassin's Creed game. I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool. It's like a whole another little story. It's 40 minutes of video footage that they're just putting up on YouTube. That's pretty fucking cool as far as I'm concerned.
I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping it was the band Creed.
That got assassinated? I'd be happy with that.
They're awesome. They rock.
They rocked in the 90s.
They didn't rock in the 90s, you fuckwit.
Didn't they?
They've never rocked.
Didn't they?
No,
were they from the 90s?
I think so.
I
They
didn't
were
know
always
from.
pretty lame.
I just remember I was in high school when I listened to them. That's all.
They were kind of like Pearl Jam, but without anything redeeming. They were very painful.
So yeah, this has nothing to do with Creed whatsoever. But yeah, I just think that's pretty cool. So keep your eyes. I think the first one goes up on YouTube. I'm not sure if they've actually said what's going to happen with the other 2. Maybe they'll, I don't know, make you pay for them, which would then reaffirm the whole damn you publishers opinion that most of us have. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Do we?
I don't know.
Actually
Do we?
fully supportive of publishers. I think they do a fine job.
How much are you getting paid?
I actually have no idea why I said that.
Okay, so I know you're dying to talk about how the PSP
I want to talk about
because
the
you're
PSP
in love
Go.
with it.
No, I'm not. And apparently no one else is
PSP.
either. The PSP Go has been revealed as phenomenal flop, I think is the word.
Phenomenal flop.
Yeah.
What classifies a piece of hardware as being a phenomenal flop?
Well, the first week's sales are usually a good indicator.
Yep.
Just to give a baseline, the PlayStation 3 currently is selling about 10,000 units. This is in Australia.
Yep.
A week.
It's pretty good.
It's
is
not
that
bad.
the PS3 Slim or just?
Yeah,
it
might actually be all of them, but in any case,
Okay.
it gives you an idea.
Sure.
In its first launch, in its first week of launch, which would be the biggest sale period you can imagine.
Yep.
The PSP Go was believed to sell slightly under 1,000 units.
1,000 units.
Now, Sony, when contacted for comment on this, unwisely did, in fact, comment.
I think it was on Jason Hill's screenplay blog that I actually read. It was Michael Efron that actually responded to this and said, actually, it was a little over 1,000.
Yeah, that was his response. Actually, it was a little over. This is not like...
Yeah, it's not really the bold claim that you want. I mean, good. Hey, look, good on them for actually responding, though.
The other thing that I thought that was quite funny was that they said that it was actually just a soft launch.
Yes.
I think that's the best excuse I've ever heard, and I plan to use that in my daily life. From now on, all of my failures are because it was a soft launch.
It was a soft launch.
Sexual failures? Oh, look, I'm sorry, love. I'll get you next time. That one was a soft launch.
Careful. It was soft sex. No, that doesn't work, does it? No. Okay.
No.
A soft launch. Okay, all right.
So, yeah, I'm going to use that if I screw up at work. Yeah, this one was just a soft launch. Don't worry about this one.
Well, he also said, if I remember correctly, they have a lot of plans for things,
they said
applications that will actually come out for it eventually soon. So
they said there was an update coming soon that would that would allow it to play video, which is interesting because it already does,
right.
And that would add something else like that. It was like add some other kind of bullshit multimedia functionality that isn't going to sell another 20,000 units.
Yeah,
it has failed. Well, it will continue to fail.
The way I see it, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't really follow that much about the PSP, but it's not only is it not being stocked by EB Games in Australia, who refuse to stock it because they can't make any money because there's no games for it being sold in retailers, and to the PSP 3000 is how much is it? It's not that much cheaper.
The PSP 3000 is substantially cheaper than the PSP.
Sorry,
Go.
it is. Sorry, I'm getting it wrong. The PS3 is only $50 more than the PSP Go.
Yeah, that is exactly right. The PSP Go is so expensive, and there's an assumption. It's interesting too because in the US it's $200 US.
Yep.
And somehow that translates to $450 Australian, which is, considering the exchange rate at the moment is hovering at sort of 92.
How much is a PlayStation 3 in the US? That's what
I'm not sure. I can't quite remember.
Because I'd like to know if there's such.
I think it's about $299.
$299.
I think it came down to $299 with the recent.
Right.
With the recent price drop.
Okay. Because I'd be interested to know that, just to see the actual comparison in prices in the US. Do they have such a problem that people are actually able to say, for $50 more, you can get a whole fucking PlayStation 3?
Yeah, more or less. It's the same. It's kind of like for another $40 you can get a PlayStation.
So, I mean, do you think Sony Australia actually do go, it's okay, no, this is fine. We expected this because it's just a soft launch?
No, I think that's spin. I think that's damage control.
You know
where they've gone, this is...
For a fucking soft launch, I actually saw ads for this thing on TV and all that kind of stuff
I've
as
seen
well.
ads around
I was watching Go, and there were ads for the PSP, as in the TV channel Go, which, hey, it's got a PSP Go. That works. And there were ads for it on there, so...
Yeah, that's an excuse. It is just clearly such an obvious excuse. I keep trying to say exclusive for some reason. Excuse.
It's an exclusive excuse.
Yes. But it's just really obvious that the thing has failed and that they really wanted it to succeed, but I think they've known for a while it wasn't going to go well.
You know what? Okay, go on, finish it off.
Well, no, I think that they've known for a while because everything that they've needed to have happening hasn't happened. They needed it for sale in EB.
I was going to cut you off there because that soundbite perfectly relates to the next topic that we're going to talk about. Think? Transmission games.
No. I know what the next topic is. I just can't remember how it leads into that.
Because, God, if I could go back and Transmission Games shut down, they had the best of intentions, thought it was going really well.
It's not uncommon.
No, I was using your...
It wasn't much of a segue, that's all.
Give me a fucking break, Jesus. All right, anyway, Transmission Games closes down. They're a developer in Melbourne. For those that don't know, they did the recently released Ashes Cricket 2009 game, multi-console, and they also did Heroes Over Europe, the sequel to Heroes Over the Pacific on the original Xbox. They used to be IR Gurus, and they used to do a bunch of AFL games and stuff like that back in the day. So very Aussie developer, one of the biggest independents in Australia with about 80 staff as of a couple of weeks ago.
We announced a few weeks ago that they shared quite a few positions, and that's never a good sign for a developer. And at the moment, things everywhere are so kind of iffy and shaky that.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember the podcast we did during the 48-hour gaming comp, where we mentioned that a lot of these studios are in trouble. As of yesterday, Transmission Games went into voluntary liquidation.
Voluntary administration?
That sounds the same to me.
Okay.
All of the rest of their staff, which I think was 50 people after the 30 cuts from the couple of weeks ago, are all out of a job all of a sudden. Which sucks. It sucks because it shouldn't happen this way. I mean, really, if they didn't know either, certainly there's writing on the wall. There's always writing on the wall when this happens.
Yeah.
But the worst still is that the rumors come in that almost every studio in Australia is actually a little bit fucked at the moment. And having troubles and letting people go. And there's certainly not that many jobs around. I contacted all the developers to try and find out how many other positions are actually physically on offer at the moment, struggling to get about 20, 25.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, we've been doing this for a while now, and we've started talking to developers for a while as well. And I remember when we first really started doing that, people were like, God, if we could only get good people. It's so hard to find people with skills. And now that's not the situation at all.
No,
I mean, there may be still a skill shortage in some areas, but there's certainly no.
Well, there's certainly the people that do tend to suffer. I mean, obviously the guys that have jobs, and especially the guys like married with kids. I mean, not all developers are like 25-year-old skateboarders, or anything like that. But the people that also suffer really badly are the people that are studying games design or programming or stuff like that, and at the end of this year they're really excited about getting a job in somewhere that they won't get because everyone else in the market has more experience than them.
Yeah, trying to get an internship or something at one of these companies that can barely stay above water at the moment.
They don't do internships.
No.
I think Halfbrick is the only developer I know that pretty much takes people while they're still at uni. I heard or they get them in, sort of thing.
It's interesting because it seems to me that the bigger the company in terms of the profile of its titles, the more shaky the ground they're on, with a few exceptions. But essentially, I guess what I'm saying is that big AAA titles and big console titles don't seem to be the way to go for Australian studios at the moment. It seems that the smaller ones are doing better.
Yeah, and why the fuck is that? Why can't
Risk.
Why aren't some of the Australian studios doing really well? We don't have a AAA.
No, but that's the thing. Risk. There's risk in big studios, and at the moment they can't absorb the risk. They're betting the farm and the industry.
They're putting all their eggs in one basket. Any other metaphors you can figure out, or?
No, not really. I'm good with betting the farm.
Okay,
I think I'll stick with that. If you bet the farm and you buy the farm, they're very different.
Yes.
But you might expression buy the farm.
You could bet the farm and then buy the farm.
Yeah, depending on the terms of the bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck.
That would suck, because then you'd have bought it, and this makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. And I'm just thinking about where you got the money to buy the farm after you bet it. Like, what did you bet?
Well, maybe you won. Maybe you won the farm.
Maybe you had to buy the farm back.
Yeah, you bet.
You lost it.
You lost it. Then you had to bet to keep it, and then.
This isn't
stupid. Going anywhere.
Xbox 360.
I just did want to say, actually, a big shout out to all those Transmission guys. I think it really sucks. Good luck actually finding work elsewhere. I listed a whole bunch of jobs. Make sure you on Australian Gamer on a news post I made. Make sure you go to tsumia.com to check it out. They're the best place to actually get.
If you're in the industry at all, you probably already know that, but just in case, there's a few of you guys who.
And the other thing is, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people that have been laid off, sort of thing, and asked for their advice and suggestions. Personally, I just think people should keep in mind that all the developers I've worked at and known, their job recruitment process is always, 1, send an email around the office to everyone else, tell them there's a job available, and ask them if they know anyone.
Yep.
2 is they'll post a job application on Tsumia. 3 is they'll post a job application on Seek. And 4 is they'll go to a recruiter. Although most of them won't even do 4 because all developers hate recruiters. I know some developers that will not take staff if they go through a recruiter. Keep that in mind.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty negative.
Well, it's just a lot of developers are really against it. Recruiter takes 15%.
From a financial point of view, if you can fill it, it's like buying a house. If you don't have to pay the estate agent, better still.
It's not like there's a lack of people out there looking for jobs at the moment. So I mean, just keep that in mind if you're planning on going to a recruiter. I would suggest approaching these places first.
Stay within the industry and within people.
Buddy, chum up to every friend that you've ever met over drinks and see what you can rustle.
Probably better off with Facebook than you are with your recruiting.
You know what?
Companies.
Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, big time. I actually think they're really useful.
Another bit of advice I heard from someone who was recently let go of Red
Mile.
Well, really? Is don't be afraid to get work elsewhere. If the industry at the moment is shit and you can get work somewhere else, take it for now.
Yeah,
a job is better than no job. Even if it's not the industry you love, at least you've got something.
Yep, absolutely. And you can always come back. You know, you might find you expand your skills, experience. You never know. You know. So, cool. All right, let's move on to talking about Xbox 360 accessories.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting accessories that have been announced or
some
rumored.
watches and jewelry.
Yeah. Earrings,
accessorized, little X's in the nose, sort of thing. Crosses.
Nice.
Like the cavemen, not the cavemen, the people on islands that put things through there.
Yeah.
You know the ones I'm talking about, right?
The whole savage.
Yeah, the savage ones.
Kind of. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
exactly what
we're talking about. The bone through the nose with bundled up hair.
I never understood that either, by the way.
I think it's a myth. I don't think that's right.
It's not a myth. There's photos of. I saw it in Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Do you have any idea how much of Ripley's Believe It or Not is simply lies?
No, I
saw a huge amount.
Bullshit. I saw the shrunken heads.
Oh, you saw it in Ripley's Believe It or Not,
yes.
So it's true.
Yes. It is true. It is true. See?
No, it's not. I've seen some of the things in those books debunked.
Debunked. What are you,
you
Penn
can sit
and
there
Teller?
and shake your head at me all you like. I've seen some of that stuff debunked. It's not very well researched.
He's talking to a third party here.
I am.
He's interrupting our
woman.
podcast. Anyway, sorry. What was I talking about? What were we talking about?
Bones through the nose for some strange freaking reason. Accessories. Yeah. Well, there's one that was announced, one that was semi-announced by being mentioned.
It wasn't announced
offhandedly by Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer, who's the head of Microsoft.
Yeah, I think he's the CEO.
But he's the one jumping around going developers.
Yeah, he is a prize fuckwit. That man, seriously.
I like that there's some people. They're like heads of companies, or they're famous for they've done really well in life, and yet they're only known for some meme of some sort or something they do, which is.
There's a lot of people who do.
Okay, I know.
There's a lot of people who do a lot of really good work and then get known for just one thing that catches people's attention, like Hitler.
Yeah,
he's like that.
No, YouTube wasn't around back then.
No.
Speaking of which, did you see the YouTube video of the guy that proposed to his girl in Disneyland?
No.
That was awesome. He's walking through Disneyland, and they captured it all on the cameras. It was pretty professionally captured, actually. It makes you question whether it was. But she was like really shocked and all this. He's just like got a megaphone. He's like saying, "Hey, can I get everyone's attention? I'm going to propose to this woman," and then starts breaking out into song, and then a lot of people that were in the audience, he pulls in and they start. It was all choreographed. This massive Disney dance number.
Sweet. I've heard of that. I haven't actually seen it. There was a similar thing. I don't know if you saw it, but I think a Hamburg railway station.
Yes.
All of a sudden, a female deer starts playing, and people just randomly start dancing for about about like 5 minutes.
Perfectly
200
choreographed.
people dancing.
This is it. This is brilliant. This is our new website concept.
Really?
Yes. We're going to make a website that lists all the I don't know, can we register something like randomly choreographed-dancing.com or spontaneous choreographed dancing or something like that?
You can't do both. You can't be spontaneous and choreographed.
No, that's the whole point, though. That's the whole point.
It seems spontaneous.
Yes, exactly.
But it's actually choreographed.
Ah, exactly.
Right.
And we just list all those videos, and people can submit them, and that's it.
I like it. It's good.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, but you're a kind of a fuckwit.
Fuck off. It's brilliant.
Okay.
Anyone else that thinks it's awesome, let me know on the forums. But yeah, accessories, not things that you wear. That Steve Ballmer mentioned in passing that I think he was being interviewed by someone, and they asked about Blu-ray player, and he's like, I don't know if we need put a Blu-ray player in the new Natal thing that's coming out. You'll be able to get a Blu-ray drive as an accessory. Now,
Yeah.
Blu-ray drive as an accessory was mentioned and talked about like years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, back in the day, they went with HD as an add-on drive because it's kind of a logical drive to have, logical to have an extra drive on the 360 to provide movies and so on in a different format.
Would Microsoft need to do some sort of deal with Sony?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So that might be why they haven't done anything, because they're...
Well, it's not Sony. It's actually, people seem to be of the misapprehension that Sony owns Blu-ray, but they don't. It's a consortium. It's called the Blu-ray Consortium.
That Sony is one of the biggest.
One of the major partners in that is Sony, but there are others. I think like Samsung and Toshiba. I'm pretty sure Toshiba's one.
I know,
as well.
but I just imagine like Sony being at this consortium sort of thing where Microsoft approaches them, and it would be this big, like a judges sort of thing. They're all sitting high up, and Microsoft sort of walks in, says, "Hey, look, we were just wondering if," and Sony's up there with their arms crossed, going, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, I got an image of them coming in saying, "Can we get a Blu-ray license?"
Sorry, speak
sorry,
up.
I didn't hear you. What was that again? I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you? Can we have a Blu-ray license? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you louder, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. That scene could have gone on.
We're right, you're wrong. We're right, you're wrong.
Yeah. So Blu-ray is interesting as a format, and it'll be interesting to see whether it really takes off big.
Yeah, what's the other accessory you said?
Well, the one that
about?
I thought was worth a mention, and it actually was announced a while ago, but we hadn't mentioned it previously, was that I've always had an issue with the 360s using an add-on for wireless networking.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas even the Wii comes with it built in, and the PlayStation 3 does as well. Most particularly, I've had an issue with the price of that thing, which is ungodly
it's
expense.
like $150.
Yeah, it was like I think $150 or $170. It was.
I remember I bought one back in the day.
Yeah, we got one at my place too. It's just a ridiculous price for what is such a standard component and should be so cheap. Like that should be $50, not $150.
Yep.
Anyway, they've dropped the price of it, not to what it should be, admittedly, but I think it's now $100 or something.
Okay.
And they've added a new product as well, which is a wireless N-based one. I'm not sure.
It's faster, isn't it?
Substantially faster, much lower dropouts, and much increased radius.
Cool.
So I'm not quite sure what the price of that is, or when
Probably
it's out, or if it's out.
$150.
Yeah, it might well replace the existing one, but a lot of people are really down on wireless. They don't find it reliable. I've never had any problem with it. I don't know why people complain, but because I've always used wireless exclusively for gaming.
I had an issue with wireless in this unit in the valley where I live.
Right. But only because you had like from the console, you had the hub sort of as far away as you could get, didn't you?
The hub was actually just in the room above it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, it should be alright.
I know, it should be alright, but it kept dropping out. And then I moved it to a different room, it was fine.
Oh, it must just be one of those weird things.
I don't know, it's just one of those weird things. There was an invisible barrier that stopped it getting out of that other room.
Yeah. Wireless N is pretty good and pretty fast, and it's not supported on any of the other consoles, so if you do happen to have a wireless N hub, and if you were looking at
router for it,
if you were looking at upgrading your system and getting one of them, then it
Now's
might well be a good, or you've already got one, you know, for your work or whatever, then it may well be worth that upgrade. And if so, that it'd be interesting to see if that makes the wireless acceptable for people when they've got one of them doodads.
One of them doodads. Well, talking about dude, I mean, we're giving some love to the 360 here. Let's give it to the PlayStation 3 deals.
I've been playing a bunch of Uncharted 2, and Yogg's
I did
doing
actually
the
as well.
same.
I played about 5 hours of it the other night, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to criticize as an exclusive.
I can criticize it.
No, but I mean, you can criticize it, you can nitpick it.
No, I can criticize it.
Really?
It's the majority of it is a fantastic on-rails shooter.
Really?
Yep.
No.
It's complete. It is one of the most linear games I've ever played.
That's not an on-rail shooter.
A linear.
It's like saying something's a platform game because there's like a wall.
No, it's awesome.
It's linear, is what you're saying.
It's linear.
Just don't make up a genre that it's not.
Okay.
No, you're right. It is linear. I think it does a reasonable job of faking that it's not, but I think in a way it has to be linear because it's a story.
I don't care that it's linear. It's just that's one thing that's noticed, but it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I said it's hard to criticize.
No, I think it's hard. I think it's hard to not like.
There we go. Okay.
I've got some nitpicks too, but
Yep.
I think there's a couple of things about it that I don't like that much, or that could have been done well. But it's hard to criticize. The writing is really good. The voice acting is really good.
Yep.
Characterization, all that kind of stuff. It's really avoided a lot of the cliches of gaming. And I was thinking about this the other day, actually, that of all the movies, because it's very cinematic in that it's very like a movie in a lot of ways. And one funny thing is that it's, of all the movies, it's very close to National Treasure.
Oh yeah, with Nicolas Cage
in feel and style and so on. And I thought, is it okay that one of the best games I've played in a long time is only up to the standard of a fairly average movie? Like, that movie was fun, but it's not like it was an Academy Award nominee.
That movie was fun.
I think that was kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking about this for a while. I'm like, is that really something to aspire to? Adequacy?
Yeah, no, but
it's an excellent movie for a game.
Yeah, you don't want to play Citizen Kane the game.
No, and I think that the standard and the attempt is totally different. And maybe there will be one day a game that kind of has the raw intensity of in story of something like, say, Fight Club or Seven.
Fight Club would be a hard game. There has been a Fight Club.
I'm not saying no. Don't. I know, but don't.
Okay.
Don't go there, because
Right.
what I'm not saying is I want a Fight Club game. What I'm saying is something as good as a story as Fight Club.
I want to play Titanic the game.
Titanic the game?
Yeah. That'd be awesome. I don't know why. I just like the idea of you at the end, because it's a game.
I've played games where
you can choose to either let Jack sink or you can hold on.
I've played games where a guy goes down at the end, but it wasn't.
What the fuck? What?
I was kind of alluding to some sort of sex game, like Leisure Suit Larry or something like that. But you kind of missed it. Didn't work. It didn't really work.
Anyway, so there's a deal with Uncharted 2.
Yeah, Uncharted 2 at the moment. There's a new PlayStation 3 came out last week.
It's slimmer.
No. After the Slim, there's actually
it's
a new
fatter.
one. It's got to be a hard drive. So instead of being the 120 gig
bigger.
hard drive, it's a 250 gig hard drive.
Okay.
Which is a pretty solid bit of hard drive.
Yes.
250 gig hard drive, PlayStation 3 Slim, plus Uncharted 2. This is the deal. Well, that's the bundle, plus Uncharted 2.
Is...
EB has that deal, plus COD 4 for $5.96.
It's pretty good.
Which I think is a really good deal, and it's the sort of deal that I think quite a few people are going to go, you know what? I wouldn't mind a PlayStation 3.
Talking about deals... by the way, God damn it! One of the guys at CA told me this great word. It was not price match. I can't remember. Anyone that wants like Forza 3 at the moment, there's a deal at, I think it's. Oh, I'm gonna fuck this up completely.
JB maybe?
JB, where it's you trade in 3. Oh yeah, it is JB. You trade in 3 games, and you get Forza for free.
Yep.
And someone's actually found the PDF that actually lists the games that are on the accepted list.
Yeah.
And they've gone to all the other EBs and things like that with their cheap deals, and they found these are the games you need to buy from EB, and then take them to JB, and you'll get Forza for $45.
Wow.
I wish
those games were just so cheap.
Yeah, exactly. They're like $15. I think that.
Wow.
And yeah, there's this great list of
nice.
how to do that. I'm not sure if that's right or if that should. Of course it is. Yeah,
Well,
get
I
it
mean,
as cheap as you can.
There's a long-standing saying, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware, let the seller beware as well.
There we go.
Makes sense. I don't know what that would be in Latin because my Latin is
a little bit rusty. Yeah.
I speak a little bit of Pig Latin. But
Were you think you were trying to say something in Pig Latin?
No.
Because not only would you struggle to say it, I would have had no idea what you said. I would have sat here for 5 minutes trying to figure out.
Do you know what Pig Latin is?
It's where you take the first letter off the front, you put it on the end, then you add a S or something.
Yeah, ixnay, uggle, yay, that kind of.
Yeah.
It's nix. I don't know why people say nix for no, but
ixnay.
Uggle, yay.
Is that
yug. Uggle, a.
What did you say though? In
Whatever. I think I said uggle, yay, which would be wrong.
What the fuck is that?
Yuggle.
There's another PlayStation 3 deal where it happened last year as well. There, if you buy a Bravia TV, they will give you a Sony PlayStation 3 Slim.
Yeah.
This is launched with a new marketing campaign where they smashed a PlayStation 3 into a Bravia TV screen.
Yeah.
George and AJ actually attended the event and did some coverage on it. Check it out. Because it's cool, because it's things getting smashed.
Yeah, the ad's pretty cool. They were apparently defective
Bravia TVs.
Defective Bravia TVs, but the console was RMIB or something. Like there was.
I don't know, but apparently one of the tries it did switch on again, but they couldn't put a disc into it. It was a little bit warped for some reason. But there's 25,000 of the motherfuckers to give away.
Yeah, this promo was hugely popular last year. Really, really successful to the point where they weren't actually able to deliver on the promises they made.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, they're saying, okay, you need to purchase a qualifying Bravia LCD TV between the 22nd of October and the 20th December to make a valid claim. Now, I'm not sure if they're guaranteeing that they'll... Oh, no, guaranteed PS3 delivery by Christmas. If you claim before the 1st of December.
Yeah.
Awesome, but do we all remember what happened last time they did this?
Well, I suspect they do.
Right.
Yeah, so I suspect that they are ready this time.
Well, just to refresh people's memories, though, they didn't supply by Christmas.
No, they didn't. They said they would, and they really underestimated demand, which is, good for them and everything. There's nothing better than an overly successful promotion.
Yep.
But it was a bit embarrassing for them, and I'm pretty sure they want to avoid that.
Yeah, so hopefully... hopefully they do avoid that this
time.
So
if you are in the market for a big new Bravia TV and PlayStation 3, go fuck yourself, you cunt.
That's lovely, man.
Well, because they've got more money than me, and I resent that.
All right, we're going to finish off this podcast with we're going to address some podcast questions which people have actually asked us in the forums. We haven't done this for a while.
No, we haven't. They've kind of built up a bit, which makes them fun again.
So, okay, I'm just going to go through them. I'll read them out and we'll see how we go.
Johnny Day Gilsbrook.
Donny
J.
Fuck.
Johnny Gay.
Will there ever be a comic again? No.
Nope, never again. People keep asking. No, gone.
I might do a one-off if I feel like it, but it certainly won't be on a regular basis. Sorry, we're too busy and we're not fussed. Hey, that's what you said. They are dead. What is Yug's motivation to get his hair done the way it is? It's more the lack of motivation to change it to anything else.
I would go, personally, my answer would be, if I didn't know better, I would say electricity.
Right.
That would be my guess.
My hair's fairly natural. Most people just mistake me for someone that's homeless.
Yeah.
Which is why I try and wear suit jackets all the time.
Yeah. So you don't look like a homeless guy.
Well,
so you do.
No, I just look like a homeless guy that's a bit respectable.
A homeless guy that just had a job interview.
Or that stole someone else's
Or someone stole someone else's jacket, yeah.
Andrew Brownster, anything special planned for GD in the coming weeks?
Not much to report on GD, but I would like to say maybe keep an eye on AG.
Yeah.
It's coming up in the next pre-games.
Yeah.
Which is my way of saying pre-e-games. And I contracted it together, so it was like one word.
I'm also going to say that stay tuned. We're going to be adding 2 new people to the website.
We are indeed. We are going to add some exciting
very soon. And there's lots of other stuff that hopefully will get done soon.
Hopefully we'll get done soon.
See around. Game Damage, I'm not going to say anything about that at the moment because I don't like saying anything when I can't guarantee and promise anything about it. So, what brand underwear do you guys wear?
I don't wear a brand. Move on.
Hold on. I
think mine are Bonds.
Oh, fuck, really? Mine are Bonds too. Bonds. That sucks. I don't want the same underwear as
No,
you.
but yours are like classy ones.
Right.
Yours probably came in a packet. I think mine came in some sort of like
Plastic bag.
plastic bag or possibly a bin of some kind. I think I bought it like a bucket like KFC.
Iron Boy, favorite iPhone apps, games you guys are playing?
I got Sudoku on mine. I've been playing a bit of that, oddly
Fuck
enough.
you, so have I. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but,
bad.
but I don't really play that one all that often. Doodle Jump. I've been playing a lot of Doodle Jump.
Right.
There's two ways I play it. One is that it's a really quite fun accelerometer-based game that controls the little guy and he jumps up through the screen. The other is sometimes I just get home, take off my pants and bounce around.
Is that a game or is that something?
No, that's Doodle Jump.
Right, okay.
Because it makes my Doodle jump.
Yeah, okay, that's great. I actually have been playing, I don't know, card things, the Sudoku. Also, Flight of the Amazon Queen, which is an old school PC game, which is on the iPhone, which the interface is fuckloads better than the Monkey Island remake as well. If anyone has downloaded the Monkey Island demo, download the Flight of the Amazon Queen and see how a point-and-click adventure game should be done on the iPhone. So yeah.
The other one is I bought a Japanese app that I haven't really played with much, but
okay,
it seems pretty good.
Do you have a copy of The Mark of Cree for the PS2 I can borrow?
I assume that's in reference to the fact that I mentioned that in an early podcast, and this is someone who's...
Oh, so do you?
I probably do, actually. It is an epic question.
Ah, okay. Jesus, he's got another question. This is Moondog. Why don't games use the right control stick for combat? I'm not going to read the rest of it because that's
really long.
Really long.
It's basically him speculating. I don't know. Should they? Why?
Well, some of them do. Like your Fight Night round, for games and things like that, they use the controllers for, different fight movements. But usually because it's so familiar to use the right control stick as a camera.
Well, that's his point. Blah blah blah. What about games with fixed camera angles?
Like
the early
Uncharted?
Resident Evil.
Because Uncharted, you still have that camera. You can still kind of move the camera around.
No, that's not a fixed camera. That's what he's saying. What about fixed camera?
They kind of
games?
are fixed camera if you...
No, in that they're not in any way fixed.
It is.
No, it's not.
It's in between.
No, it's really not.
Yes, it's fucking in between.
Every now and then you get a scene where the camera angle is not on you.
It's off a slant, and if you try and move it left and right, you can only move it a limited degree. You know what? I'm taking this back. I could be entirely wrong on this one.
You are entirely wrong,
so
and I'm starting to wonder if you knew how to play this game when you played it. Which may be why you thought it was a fucking rails shooter, because you didn't actually understand the controls, and to you it just was. Were you trying to play it with the fucking Wii controller or something? What were you doing?
No, but I wasn't moving the camera angle around much because it was so cinematic, and I was like, oh, that's awesome.
No,
look,
that's
like
actually something I've
seen
referenced in Uncharted 2, was that the camera was often very well positioned in terms of when there was something good that you would need to see, the camera was kind of nudged in that direction a bit. That didn't always happen, and there was a few moments of like, oh my god, could that possibly be? And I'm like, what? Where?
Okay, it's just the camera angle wasn't fixed behind the person as it is in usually every single third-person game. Do you know what I mean? It felt more free. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, but it still wasn't a fixed camera.
All right,
my
fine,
point.
whatever. So Resident Evil, I don't know, why don't they use two control sticks for combat?
Ask them, because it would suck.
Probably. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, we can't answer that. What is your favorite book? Direct it at Matt, because I know Yug can't read. Fuck you!
Yug reads more than me, actually.
I read more than Matt lately. I've been a book whore.
Yeah.
The other way around. I've been stealing everyone else's books. Oh no, that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
Is that what whores do? It's not really what whores do.
No.
Book thief. Really? Why go the sexual route? Clearly that's just kleptomania.
For some reason, I reread Stephen King's The Stand the other day.
That's random. I quite like that book.
I think it's great. I don't know. What's your favourite book?
My favourite book is probably Stranger in a Strange Land, Robert A. Heinlein, which I really like. Dolly didn't think much of it, but she's not as down with the misogyny and homophobia as I am.
Fair enough. I don't know if I could say I've got a favourite book. I got books I got authors I like. I guess this is a surprise. Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
And Chuck Palahniuk before he went a little bit too sexual. But
I've been rereading the Raymond E. Feist of the Empire series for some strange reason lately.
They're awesome. I love them.
Awesome.
Matt got me into the Raymond E. Feist series, actually, the Magician and stuff like that, and they're awesome. Except after a while, I lost interest because all the main characters really did fuck off.
Start just dying.
Yeah.
And the only time you saw them was when they were like old and crippled.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not cool. I remember.
And every so often, Pug would come in and remind you how awesome the earlier books were.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of shit me after a bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, are there any other podcast questions? Has Matt played Half-Life yet?
Nope. I'm sorry. In between my sitting around and twiddling my thumbs, I haven't been able to fucking find time.
Fuck it, play Half-Life, motherfucker.
Whatever.
What happened to God mode in games? Is it because games are getting easier that we don't see it featured anymore?
I think that might actually be part of it, to be honest. Like, a lot of games really aren't that hard. You look at something like Uncharted 2, and aside from the time, it's not hard.
More importantly, I mean, God mode was never a feature of most games. God mode was the cheat that you used when you were too pussy to actually play through the game of your own skill.
And God mode also took a lot of the fun out of it. And I think a lot of developers simply don't want you to not enjoy the game.
I would much rather play a game as it's intended and, you know, either Prince of Persia style, you rewind it when you fuck up, or you die but there's no lives or anything like that.
Yeah. Reduced consequences rather than no consequences.
A lot of games aren't so much about the challenge of points and all this kind of stuff anymore. They're just about progression and enjoying the experience. So
so why compromise that experience?
Exactly. Shu K, which podcast is Yug absolutely wasted? Just started listening, so I want to hear the best ones. Fuck, I don't know.
We don't really remember, but someone else might.
Well, yeah, there's heaps of other people that listen to this. Someone should know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Good. And last one, Andrew Brownstow. If you guys are struggling to find time for podcasts, why don't you plan to do them fortnightly and make it 100% longer?
We appear to have done that.
Oh shit!
We did miss last.
Holy shit! We're like at 40 minutes now too.
Yeah. So we are in fact 50%.
And no offense to the Gap guys or anything like that, but I'm not a fan of podcasts that go over like half an hour to 45 minutes. I just think they become too much of a rambling mess.
Yeah. Well, we've we've honed the rambling mess.
Fuck yeah!
I think we've trademarked and patented the rambling mess.
Yep.
But we don't really want to drag it out that much. Plus, if you do it for every 2 weeks, you end up with 2-week-old news, really.
Really? I mean,
we want to do it every week. It's hard sometimes to schedule, but we do try.
We do try. And look, hopefully, for fuck's sake, anyone that's listened to this site for long enough should know exactly what to expect from our unprofessional professionalism.
We have been pretty good with the podcast lately, I'd like to think.
Except for last week.
We did miss last week's because of just insane scheduling conflicts. Like on the Thursday night, which is when we normally record this, Guy couldn't do it, and then the next night I couldn't do it, and then the day after I couldn't do it, and then he couldn't do it, and so on. So we just ended up going, you know what, we're just not doing it.
Yep, fair enough.
So,
but we've done it this time, and we will be doing, I think, a live podcast on. Either we'll do a live podcast on stage at eGames, or we'll do one at the Melbourne Gamers Meetup.
Yeah, I like either of those ideas.
Or we might do both. Fuck it, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But look, anyone in Melbourne, obviously not this weekend, but next weekend, be sure to head down to the Melbourne Game, or be sure to head down to fucking eGames, which will be at the Royal Exhibition Centre, I believe.
Yeah, head to eGames. If you can't head to eGames for whatever reason, maybe you're working or whatever. I'm not going to be there on Friday, unfortunately.
I will be.
Yeah, but if you can't head there during the day for whatever reason, at least come to the Gamers Meetup and say hello.
Come to the Gamers Meetup.
Buy Yug a drink because he needs all the financial support he can get.
Exactly. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later.